And look, this is a regular occurrence for us. It may be kind of cramped for you, but we're used to this. It's always cramped, and tons of folks here, and 85 cars out the driveway and across the street and around the corner at the park and ride and all that good stuff. So we're glad y'all are here. We're going to pray in just a minute, but before we do, I just want to say a few words about my son, share a story or two, brief story. And, if you've got something that you'd like to share, if you want to speak a blessing, tell a funny story, have an open rebuke for him in front of everybody. Yeah. Whatever you want to do, this is the time. All right? But I just want to honor Seth tonight. And I'm thankful for him because this is the guy that made me a dad and made Melinda a mom. And I want to tell you a cool story. There used to be a back porch on this house before Katrina came through and did what it did. And we were sitting out on the back porch, and we had some old friends that were in town for, did they come in for the wedding? They were in town for something.
It's a week before the wedding.
And they were visiting us, and Dean and Julie Dunn, Laura, you know who they are, Mark's parents. And we were out on the back porch talking, and Dean was a rocker, and he was rocking in this chair. He rocked, he was a violent rocker, just back and forth, back and forth. And we're talking and visiting. And in mid-rock, he stops, and he looked right at Melinda and I, and he said, the Lord wanted me to tell you something. He said, there's something fixing to happen in your lives that's going to make you very happy and bring you a lot of joy. And he said, that's it. He started rocking it. Little did we know that about a week later, 2 weeks later, I'm not sure at the time, Melinda may know, that we conceived, and Seth was born 9 months later. It was really a neat thing. Was that too what? Oh, Ron. She's still in the pasture. And Seth came into the world, and I'm going to tell you something, just a really mind-boggling thing. He came into the world with a bang. He came into the world basically saying, here I am, world, if you're ready for me or not. And I've never been in a place, and I don't do this a lot, so maybe it happens a lot. We had about 50 people come to the hospital from the time he was born to the time that we got out to visit him and visit us. And it was really a blessing. It just really spoke a lot to me about what God was going to do, and God's really used him. I'm thankful because, it wasn't too long ago I was kind of worried about him. And if you're a parent, you never stop worrying or being concerned about your kids and how they're going to turn out. They have their ups and downs, and they're human. They go through life, and I'm thankful for where he is, what God's doing, and for the opportunities that he has, and the people that are in his life that love him, and the way you speak into his life, and the way you encourage him. And I'm thankful for that. I want to tell one funny story, and then I'll give the floor to somebody else. Seth was about 2 years old. He would go everywhere with me. Both my boys, if you know them, when they were little, for a good while, everywhere, if I was going somewhere, they were going with me, And I grabbed my keys. Where you going, Daddy? I'm going to the bank. Can I go with you? Yeah, you can. So I had this little white Nissan truck, just a straight bench, small cab. And I had a friend of mine who'd been in town visiting with us. He was actually staying with us for a little while. He was crazy. You ever had that friend who's just crazy and will say and do anything? Yeah. Well, this friend of mine was staying with us. His name was Mark Descant.
I do have a friend.
We all do.
Is that him?
It's him.
Mark, and this is relative to the story, so don't get wigged out. Mark was half black, half part Spanish, part French, and part white, and just crazy and loud and just a blast to be around. And so I'm in the truck driving. Seth's here in the middle because we didn't care about the rules back then. And we pull up at the bank at the drive-thru. And we're living in Lumberton, and we know everybody in Lumberton. Everybody knows us. Everybody knows Seth. And there's a lady there. She's an African-American lady. Her name is Mary Ball. And she's, hey, Steve, how you doing? Well, my friend, real quiet, says to himself, he's like, what's up, hot chocolate? Under his breath. What's up, hot chocolate? To which Seth, at 2, turns and looks at Miss Mary and goes, what's up, hot chocolate? And I was just totally embarrassed. I taught her son in school, and I knew this lady, and she just was like, hey, Seth. And then just gives me. So I just think it was just kind of funny that he did that. I can't tell any more stories, but I know y'all get it. Anybody else?
This young man was supposed to be a girl. ultrasound, they did 2 of them. And he was gonna be a girl. And I told him he's not gonna be a girl. And the night that he was born, I mean, Melinda had been in labor for like, 18 hours or something like that before he was born. But somebody came up and they asked me, they said, well, Harry, how's it gonna be to have, to have a girl in the family? I said, God hadn't told me it's gonna be a girl yet, I said, I guess it'll be okay. So when he popped out, this one in there screaming, they told him it's a boy, and he went nuts in the room. But he was talking about the people that came by. Steve and Brenda Wetzel, it was their anniversary, and they came over to the hospital after going out to eat to celebrate with us. I mean, and Seth has been something to them. Well, Steve's dead now, but Miss Brenda, so she So anyway, and Steve used to call me, and he said, Dad, Seth has done this. He's left my tools out in the backyard, everything like that. My tape measure I can't find it. I said, yeah. I said, good for you, Steve. I said, now you know what it's like. But he's the one that made us grandparents.
I want to just tell one quick story about the night that he was born, since we're on that subject. Melinda, if y'all know Melinda, she's very meticulous about preparing for stuff, and she always does her due diligence. And so when she was pregnant with Seth, she read all the what to expect if you're expecting, all those things. And so she kept trying to get Steve to go to the prenatal classes with her, and he was always too busy, right? And so he never could make it. And so on the night that Seth was born, after, he was born and it was a boy, and so Steve sidles out of the birthing room, and we're all outside, and he says, Mom, he says, he's got a cone head.
You look like the pictures of Tutankhamun with the big cone.
I want you to do a cone head. And so I looked at my husband and I said, you think I should tell him? And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And so I said, Steve, I ought to let you worry about this. But I said, it's perfectly normal for a baby to be a cone head. I said, he won't be in a few hours. So that's really a story. I need you to know, Seth. We used to watch Saturday Night Live in our long time ago days, and the cone heads, it was all about you. Nice head.
It's kind of coney, I don't know.
That nice hair on top. Look how styled to the side.
Yeah.